report of Orange Township Trustees to order. Today's date is April 2nd at 3:04 p.m. Fiscal Officer Batten, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Rico.
Here.
Trustee Faust. Here. Trustee Knapp.
Here, sorry. I'm still looking at the agenda. I'm not Erica.
We're all everybody's accounted for. Here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We were all joking about sharing a birthday, so maybe that was a little bit of the confusion.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I think our next agenda item we have are general announcements. Does the board have general announcements?
I do have one. I just want to make known on record that our Orange Township email distribution list, so listserv, mail campaign, whatever you call it, it's really the link when you click Stay Informed on our website is temporarily down. Unfortunately, we don't have an immediate solution. I think we have reached our kind of capacity limits to the listserv, which is a good problem. A lot of people want to use it. So we are looking to upgrade to a new platform in the coming weeks to have a better system in place. So for residents or anybody that's interested on the listserv, they will not be receiving notices anytime soon. So we will be putting something on our website. We will have something on our Facebook page, and we will continue doing the legal notices as required.
Do you think there's a way that we can extract the addresses that were on the old one or existing one so that when we get the new one, we can do an email blast and saying, here's our new one, sign up if you want?
Yes.
Okay, great. So then, but we can't access those emails now?
We do have them, they're all on a list on the website, on the back end of the website.
Okay, would we be able to do an email blast in this interim period now that says, hey, just like, you know, not just the website and the Facebook, but saying, hey, this is down?
We can try, they're all getting bounced back to the Orange General
Oh,
right now. They're
gracious.
coming back to the Orange General, so we're not sure why they're getting kicked back.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell because some emails are going through and not all. So it's just, it's inconsistent, and if we have the bounce back, I can't, I don't know
Right, we don't
why
know. Okay.
that's happening.
Is that why my email bounced back to you? Okay, gracious.
So, yeah, I just want to apologize for the inconvenience, but we are working on it. I know there's a lot of zoning stuff going on, so I encourage everybody to check the website and Facebook, as we will keep frequently updating on that.
And will we, like, stuff specific to the meetings, can we put that at the front of the website, those first things that kind of click in, that normally would maybe go out on the listserv, in that, just.
We'll put them on the news alerts on the main
Yeah,
page.
that,
The agenda is on there.
okay,
The front three bubbles.
okay,
And we'll do that for the zoning notices.
okay, thanks.
Any good news?
There are a couple community events going on. Erica and I were able to attend a Lewis Center Business Connect coffee this morning at Standardized Brewing. It was good to see a lot of members of the business community out for that. There's also, coming up on April 12th, there's a spring vendor market at Ethos & Co. Cafe off of Africa Road. And I know there are lots of other community events going on. Always happy to highlight those.
April 26th is Puttering Around Lewis Center, which is a Lewis Center Business Connect event. So that's a fun way to get to interact with our businesses in the community. They did mention that the Shred Day that now will be organized by the Lewis Center Business Connect is Saturday, May 17th.
Also at Evans Farm.
Also, and that one's Evans Farms, correct. Yeah.
I don't have any other.
Sign-ups for the parade are live, if anybody is.
And pool passes.
And pool passes, which, note, I need to do that. Yeah,
The 4th of July parade.
yes, thank you.
Roads levy, again, we're planning on adding something to the newsletter. I'm not sure if we know specifics to what that's going to look like just yet. Do you know? Okay.
Yeah, there'll be information about some of the procedures and processes we go through in regards to evaluating our roadway services and kind of highlighting some of the inefficiencies when it comes to balancing the need versus the revenue available to spend on the roads, and trying to do our best to educate the community on that and help them understand a little bit of some of the rhyme and reason behind why we do what we do with roads.
And there's not a lot to report, but I attended the Delaware County Health District Advisory Council meeting, I guess it has 2 weeks ago, I think, yeah, on the 20th. And they aren't doing the annual report they did for each community this year. They're skipping it, but we reappointed Patrick Blaney as a member, and he's been a long-term member. He's an engineer. And they gave us some general information on the health district. And just in general, in Delaware County, there were 2,247 births last year and 1,543 deaths, just for example. Interesting stats. And the county is struggling with a few issues like an increase in suicide and some opioid overdoses, but they're attempting to address all those. So, but overall, I think we still remain the healthiest county in all of Ohio.
I just saw something went on the website with the health district, those 2 events at the pool. Can we speak to those?
We're doing 2 initiative programs. They're going to be like pilot programs for the residents. The first one is May 13th. It's going to be focused around healthy eating. It's targeting all ages in the township. It'll be held at the community room. It'll start at 10 and end around 11. They're 45-minute programs. And then the second one will be May 20th at the community room at the pool, and it'll be focused around like social connections and mental health. So if well attended, then we'll continue the programming.
Great.
And I saw a blood drive somewhere. When is the blood drive?
May 8th.
May 8th at, what's the hours? 10?
8 to 2.
8 to 2?
Is that one here? Okay,
I saw that somewhere, okay.
I think that's all.
A lot going on this spring.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is a presentation by Delco Water Company. Mr. Rick Dunlop and Glenn Marslow.
Thank you very much. Excuse me, my name's Rick Dunlop, and I'm joined by Glenn Marslow, our CEO. I'm the Economic Development Lead for Delco Water. And we're going to take about 10 minutes because your water company is really supposed to just be consistent, reliable, and fly under the radar. But we're making a change that we think could draw some attention, and we're not really believing that we're going to be able to impart all of this on you, and you're going to get all of it right now, but everything that we're going to talk about has actually been posted on our website, so you can redirect folks there. That's a picture of me, and as I look at that, I either need a new camera or a new razor, one or the other. But if we move to the next slide, the reason that we're here is to talk about a change in our rate structure. We've typically been we've had the same rate structure for probably 25 years, and this is a picture of our reservoir, and it's a 1 billion gallon reservoir, and I took this photo myself at the end of September, and that's down 10 feet. And so what we're doing is we're really starting to pivot and be even more focused on the resiliency of the system. On the next slide, you'll see why. The graph here depicts, we do have 45.5 million gallons a day of treatment capacity. So we've got plenty of capacity, but when we look at how things have changed over the last 9 years, we've seen daily production go up, or it's doubled. We've seen those peak days go up 65%. And if we just kind of draw a line, we do think we would run out of capacity in maybe 10 years. We'll call it 10 years. We don't feel concerned about that right now because we know we have another plant that's going to be in production at some point, but we would like to move that down the road as fast and as far as we can because it saves money for the community. On the next slide, what you see is what our pricing scheme and history has been over the last, we'll say 10-ish years, 10, 12 years. And you see from 2013 to 2019, we saw just a gradual average 2.2% increase. And then we got to COVID. And when COVID happened, we weren't sure what was going to happen. Are prices going to drop or are they going to go up? So we just decided to go flat. So we had 3 years of flat pricing. We made a couple of years of increases to try and recapture where our costs are. And with this change in structure that we're looking at today, and this is the median household, the one that's right in the middle, if you stack them high to low, what we'll be back to the pricing where we would be if it was just that routine 2.2% increase, which you might say, right, that doesn't seem like that's a very big deal. But in the structure of it all, which shows up on the next page, you can see what we're doing is moving from what we would call like a regressive structure, where it's a little more expensive for people who use less water, to one where it's more expensive when you use more water. So we're making that pivot this year. So what you can see is, and this is for the 5/8 inch residential customer, which is about 99% of our taps. So you'll see the base rates are going to come down. People who are using smaller amounts of water will see a rate reduction in effect, even though the allowance is going away, and that'll eat into that difference. And we'll see some examples in a moment, but you'll see it start to escalate as you get into the out years and we move our environmental tier down. So we're really trying to drive conscientiousness around lawn watering. We think lawn watering is fine. We have nothing against that, but excessive lawn watering can even be bad for a lawn. On the left side, you've got some examples of some of the bills themselves, and you can see, on the lower end, those bills will change very modestly. The next page schedules out, and this is probably a number that I would suggest that you try and remember. This schedules out all of the bills from 0 to 10,000 gallons a month, and you can see that 69% of the bills change by $3. Some go down, some go up, but they're all in that range of changing by $3. 83% change by 5, no more than 5. And what we do know is that people use different amounts of water. So if you click it again, I think another click, maybe, yeah, on that lower end, and then click it again on the upper end. We did take a look at the impact of the people who really use the smallest amount of water and the people who use the extreme levels. And so on the next slide, we draw those out. And you can see on the lower end, we looked at the 16,000 or so customers that had a small bill, we'll call it 1,500 gallons or less. And when we looked at what they used for the whole year, 2/3 of them used more than 1,500 and 14% used more than 5,000. So if somebody wants to hold up their bill and say, look what they're doing, it's like what you would want to do is say, look at how it works through the whole year, because you're going to have those. We don't find a lot of people that have, are living on that, 1,500 or 1,500 gallon level. So we took a look there, and we see that, when people look at it over a longer period, it's not quite as dramatic as that graph might depict. The place we're really trying to call it attack or address is really on that graph on the right, where we took a look at the 48,000 customers that we had that had 12 consecutive months of service. We took out the snowbirds, we took out the new taps, we took out the people who left the community. So it's 48,000 continuous users, and a little over half just use a little more in the summer months. They're washing a car, an extra load of laundry, a little more showers, they might do some outdoor activity. But it's the 18% that really use 2.5 or times or more water in the winter than they use in the summer. So that's where our pricing signal is really intended to kind of address. So what we expect is you're hearing from people from the community. It's probably going to potentially be more this group of people, and we're just trying to encourage folks to be a little more thoughtful, with the lawn sprinkling. With all of this change, on the last slide, what it would suggest is you always can wonder, like, where does Delco rank? Are we expensive? Are we inexpensive? Where would we rank? And this study was conducted by the state, by OSU on behalf of the EPA, and there were 268 statewide systems that responded. If you take a look at the median for this study, it was $419 would be the cost for a year of service. If you're a median user in the Delco system, your bill's going to hover right around there and actually be less expensive than these rates were for 2022. So we think that with this structure change, it's still, we still maintain certainly the affordability. If you're the median user, if you're going to be an extreme user, run that sprinkler 4 hours a day, you're probably going to see your bills escalate much more quickly. So I will stop and see if you have any questions, or Glenn, if you have anything you wanted to add.
I mean, the big picture is we're trying to send a price signal for outdoor water use. And if we can be successful, we will delay future capital, and this becomes so expensive. One of the plants we're looking at, the next plant we're looking at expanding is the one at the base of the Allen Creek Reservoir, or Ralph E. Scott plant, which is right here in this township. That thing will cost between $30 million to maybe as much as $150 million to expand it. We're not quite sure the full scope, but we want to delay that as long as we can. The capital is so expensive, and as Rick showed you in one of those early slides, we have plenty of capacity for domestic indoor water use, right? We're not in any challenge like that. Our challenges are a few days per year when we're dealing with the peak water use, all related to lawn sprinkling. So we're very intentionally trying to send a price signal. If you need to sprinkle your lawn, it's going to cost you more. And we want to make sure, the reason we're coming to the townships and trying to get out there is to make sure people are aware, right? That if you're going to sprinkle your lawn, it's going to cost you. It's fine if you want to do that, but our intention is to delay future capital by reducing our peak days. That is the main priority of this rate change.
So just to confirm, the first 4,000 gallons that we use in a month is at one price structure, and then the additional 1,500 is at a different, right?
It's 0 to 4, and then 4 to 10,
Okay.
and then 10 and up.
So everybody that was in with that 0 to 4, we're all paying the same
Yes.
rate?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. And so we think there's fairness in it because that median household is at 4,000. It doesn't kick in again at a higher rate until you get to 10, so it's 2.5 times the median use. So what we find is the average user is 5,500 gallons a year. So, most people, as Glenn said, the indoor domestic use, we're not against watering the flowers or things like that. We're just trying to get the attention of folks who might have it set up to go on automatically at 4:30 in the morning and stay until 7:30, rain or shine. So,
Are you sending additional notices out to customers
yes.
about the rate change?
Those initial ones are going out with each one of the billing cycles. The first billing cycle just went out, and we updated our website today. And I have a copy of the FAQs if you're interested in a paper copy. But I would encourage you to kind of direct people back to the website if they have questions, and then call us if they don't. Remember, it's 69% plus or minus $3. Look at it over the whole year, so.
And that's per month, the 4,000 gallons is per month, right?
Correct, yep.
Thank you guys for coming to share
Hey,
this with us.
sure thing.
We appreciate the partnership.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
Do we have other public comment today? All right, seeing none, I think we have a few agenda changes.
Yes, under the consent item, I do have four purchase orders on there. The first one from Reliance Bank, this is for the loan for our new ladder truck. This is our first payment, our first one that's due, right? Yes, okay. And then the following three are in regards to the design professional who we selected, and we'll talk further about that. That's with App Architecture. And the funding for the design engineering part is divided from fire levy and general fund, and the purchase orders are as follows. I think we have them on the screen too, showing the amounts, if you can scroll. Yeah.
And the new ladder truck, when we order it, we're starting to pay now, do we know when it comes-ish?
It's the 17th is our final
Oh,
inspection,
okay,
so we'll have it about 2 months from now.
okay. And how long is the loan for this one, do we remember?
7 years.
Okay, thanks.
And then the other thing, and again, in regards to our fire station design professional, we did need to make appropriation changes under fiscal. That's all I have.
Okay. Are there any questions or discussion about the consent agenda?
I have none.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda for the regular meeting held on April 2nd, 2025, including Resolution 25-104, approving the electronic record of the proceedings from the regular meeting held on March 19th, 2025, Resolution 25-105, approving purchase orders, then and now purchase orders, and blanket purchase orders as listed.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Knapp.
Yes?
Trustee Faust.
Yes?
Trustee Ringel.
Yes. I believe our next agenda item is our development and zoning report. Director Duffy?
Good afternoon, trustees. I'll dive right into the zoning hearings and meetings report. We did have a zoning commission meeting last evening on April 1st to continue our discussion on our zoning code rewrite. We had some good discussion on our new districts and zones, and we continued that discussion to April 22nd, so that will be the next zoning commission meeting. We do have a trustee zoning hearing following the conclusion of this meeting at 5 p.m. here in this room for the Route 23 corridor overlay application of Parkway Plaza, RCOD 23-03. Again, that is 5 o'clock this evening. We do have another trustee zoning hearing scheduled for Wednesday, April 16th at 4:30 p.m. That is for the proposed Italian sausage restaurant located at 6025 Rail Timber Way. The day after that, we have a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. There are 2 applications on that evening's agenda. So there are 2 monument signs proposed. One is for the McDonald's on Artesian Run there, 6691 Artesian Run. That is a conditional use for a monument sign as well as 2 area variances, one for an electronic messaging center type sign and then one to allow a monument sign where it is prohibited under the current plan district text. The other monument sign proposed is also a variance and conditional use application for Pizza Cottage located at 8753 Owen Field Drive. They also require a conditional use for that monument sign and an area variance from their planned commercial district zoning for the monument sign where it is prohibited under that plan district text.
Are there any monument signs in that whole area where the Pizza Cottage is?
There are some in that general area, yes.
But there aren't any up where McDonald's is that correct?
Not in that immediate vicinity.
And then the person next to it means that's how tall they're gonna be? They're proposed?
Yes.
Whoa. And it has red LED lights? Like, what does that mean?
So I believe it's that band, it's just that band under for some kind of accent lighting.
We don't like
And
LED
how tall
lights.
it is- how
We don't
tall
like
is-
neon.
Yeah,
It's allowed to be 8 feet, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And how tall is it?
Is that 8 feet?
8 feet.
Yeah.
So a rather short person, but
But
it
what
is a
else-
person.
It's America.
What, not Silas, definitely. What other monument signs are there in that area? There's one that's for the shopping center, right?
Yeah, Eric, do you want to, we've had some recent activity in that area.
The 2 recent ones anyway are both essentially the same time, Another Broken Egg and Del Taco restaurant. So
And is
they're,
Pizza Cottage like next to those?
Just north of.
Like they're all
It's-
like in a line, right?
it's right next to Del Taco, the
Yeah.
immediate parcel to the north.
Okay.
And they were approved for monument signs?
Yes.
Really?
The Del
They've both
Taco
been
one's
installed.
kind of
Wow.
small, isn't it?
Area-wise, they're smaller than this. I'm not sure about the height or exact specifics, but generally speaking, yep.
Yeah, because we prohibited all monument signs, right, in that whole area originally, the zoning?
It's a little spotty. It depends on the plan district text in question. So some parcels, yes, some parcels, no.
Were variances permitted or given for the other signs?
For,
Both of those
yes.
signs, they were just
Okay.
for the conditional
Wow.
use.
Oh,
And
okay.
also
were?
So
for the development to allow a sign, correct?
So Another Broken Egg and those were both variances, correct?
Yes. Yep.
They were, that's what I thought, because I thought that we prohibited. And then up at the McDonald's, can you go back to that one? So they're requesting a variance, yeah, because are there any monument signs along that, there are
Not in that
right?
immediate
So
vicinity.
that would set a serious precedent. And having an electronic message, do we have any electronic messages?
Not in that area. There's, I believe,
What about
one
schools?
that's, the schools do, but they are,
They're exempt,
they're somewhat
right?
exempt from zoning.
they're exempt.
There is one commercial approved one that is farther south on 23 for a gas station. That was kind of a special exception.
Which one's
because
that
it's-
one?
Is that Speedway?
Speedway,
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't really like that.
I,
I mean, I know they're having a problem bringing people in, but they knew that when they bought their property.
yeah, we
I would set a bad.
do not have I would say we do not have a trend of approving electronic message centers,
good,
although it
okay.
is,
I
it
guess
is
we'll
their
find
right, it
out.
is their right to request it.
I did hear when Crimson Cup was asking for theirs, there was a big push. That was a pretty strong discussion. And so I was there yesterday, and so they just park a giant Crimson Cup truck there, Crimson Cup truck. in the first parking spot, so that functions as a
Oh.
monument sign.
Suggest that to McDonald's.
I will not.
Okay, and when is that hearing again?
That is April 17th.
So right after the
Yeah.
Italian sausage lunch.
That would just set, I know they're having problems with people knowing where to turn, but I don't know. Okay, all right, thanks.
And then the final item on the zoning report is the proposed dispensary located at 3812 East Powell Road. That hearing is set with the Board of Trustees for Wednesday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. And I should say for both that application and the Italian Sausage Restaurant, they have indicated that they are giving us updated plans. I have not received them as of yet.
And is there anything else in the works once we get through April that's like you guys are looking at, or submissions have started, or?
Nothing formal. I've had some conversation with potential applicants
Okay,
who
but
may or
nothing.
may not apply, but
Okay.
nothing in the pipeline immediately.
Okay.
So I think you'll have a break
Maybe a
in May.
break?
Yeah.
So we can look on the code if
Yes.
depending on
Yeah,
what the zoning
and
commission's done now.
Speaking of the code, I really encourage the board to tune into or watch the zoning commission rewrite hearings. We've had really, really good dialogue. I think we all thought this was gonna take a lot less time, but it's good that the zoning commission is looking at this page by page, and the conversations have been interesting. We have a really diverse set of opinions when it comes to these zoning changes, but I think what we plan to propose to you is gonna, with the amount of time we're spending, is gonna be a good quality product to review.
We'll just highlight again that when we scheduled the zoning hearing for the Italian Sausage Restaurant, that we set that at 4:30 as opposed to our typical 5:30 hearing date time. Or
Do
hearing
they
time.
know when they'll have those plans to us? Do we have any requirement, or could they just spring them on us that same day?
I generally tell applicants 10 days, at least 10 days prior to the hearing date, so that we have time to review and distribute.
So it should be coming soon?
Yes,
Okay. And the dispensary also might be?
correct.
Do we have an idea of, for either of them, what is changing?
So for the Italian Sausage Restaurant, it's generally, the zoning commission had some modifications that they recommended, so it'll be complying with those. The dispensary, I do not know what changes they are planning on making.
But they're definitely resubmitting?
That is what they indicated to me
Okay.
a few weeks ago when I last spoke with them.
Okay.
Any other questions or discussion on the zoning report? All right, thank you, Director Duffy.
Thank you.
I believe our next agenda item is our operations report. Director Bowers.
Thank you, Trustee Ringel. Two things for operations tonight. I'll start with Shanahan Road. If you recall, a while back, we had approved an agreement, cooperative agreement with Delaware County Engineers Office between Orange Township and Berwyn Township for the widening and construction of Shanahan Road. Appreciate Doug and the Engineers Office on working on that for us. A follow-up to that is an amendment for the trail, shared use path along the south side of Shanahan Road. So the Engineers Office and the Board of Commissioners have drawn up a new agreement. There's a similar shared cost agreement between Orange Township and Berwyn Township. Before you have the resolution for that and the agreement that's been reviewed by legal, ultimately, it's same shared use. It'll go in same time as the road widening project commences. Our share of the cost is $168,000, and that'll be due around the time of construction, which right now is slated for 2027. So we're looking to move forward with our end of the agreement, and then it'll kick it over to Berwyn for their side of it as well.
$168,000
Yes,
for the whole trail?
yes.
It's like a
for our
mile
share.
long?
Yes, a tick under a mile, I believe. It'll connect from almost to 23 and run east over to where it terminates just east of Shanahan Middle School right now.
And is that all, is it 50/50 between us and Berlin, or is the county participating financially in that as well? The reason, where my brain is going, is it's like $900,000 to do a path that's a
Yeah.
mile long on East Powell, and 320 or
Yeah,
whatever is.
there's some
electric.
technicalities rolled in there because of the concurrent roadway construction that will
Okay.
help ease
Oh,
some of
some of
those
those costs.
overall
Okay,
costs. So
that
it's not a
makes
standalone project necessarily like it
Okay.
typically would be, like
Gotcha. So
East Powell
so the
Road.
mobilization's rolled into the whole road project versus just the path and
Correct.
all that kind of stuff. Okay.
And Should ask Doug, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, there isn't.
All right. All right, so the other thing on the operations agenda is kind of a joint operation thing between,
Sorry, you're talking about the fire station?
yeah.
That's under 5.
Oh, well, hey, never mind, I'm done.
Talk about that. So in the,
Oh, it's already?
it's ready to go. So in the backup, then, we're basically paying $150,000 a year for 7 years for the road.
Correct.
Is that correct? And then this 168 is a one-time payment?
That's my expectation. I think from our parks and our path budget that's set
Yeah,
aside, I
we
think
can
2
just-
years out, I think we can plan accordingly for that, but also potentially chase some grants as well that may help offset some of that cost for the township.
Okay, remind me when you said that was due. I wasn't paying attention.
Currently, 2027 is the anticipated timeframe for that project. Obviously, there's sometimes a moving target on that, but that's the tentative plan.
Okay, thanks.
And payments would start this year.
For the road, great.
The 168,000 is a deposit from what the amendment says. So there'll be a final cost summary, and if that final cost summary comes in lower than deposit, that amount
Yeah,
will be
I'm sorry.
refunded to the township.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Seeing as your other agenda item was taken from you,
Yes.
Yeah, looks like I'm done.
any other items on the report?
No,
We're
sir.
excited, and we're excited for this to happen. I mean, obviously Shanahan is a very narrow road, there's zero shoulder, so it will be lovely. Just a reminder, start of construction, timing? Is that the 2027?
2027, correct,
27, okay. With about a year, or one construction season, 2 construction seasons?
The estimated
Pending.
date of completion is December 1, 2027.
Hey, Doug.
Okay, hi.
Doug Riedel from the Delaware County Engineers Office. Our hope right now is that we can start construction spring of 2027, so obviously it's not that difficult of a project as far as the timing involved for construction. So our hope is to have it done by, November-ish of that same year.
And are you guys in right-of-way purchase
That's what I was gonna
conversations
ask, yeah.
at this point?
Not yet, no. We're still in engineering plan development, and then
Okay.
the next step obviously would be to start right-of-way acquisition.
Do the residents know this is coming? Hey, we're gonna buy some of your property and
I
make
think
you.
most do.
Okay.
Because we've been
We've had
talking about it for 12
conversations,
years.
yeah.
I mean, since like 2011, I think, or 2010.
I mean, obviously, there's been some notifications. The township's done a great job of getting the word out to folks. Our typical response, unless there's a need for some sort of public open house, is to, when our letter's sent out for right-of-way acquisition, that's how we notify the folks of
Okay.
what's going on.
This will be good.
And we
Yeah.
appreciate the partnerships with the
partnership.
county and
And we certainly are happy to
Really?
move forward with this project as well. It certainly is needed.
Yes, very much.
And I'll add too, we'll have to remember in 2 years to get a purchase order for this as well, so just, somebody needs to remember that.
Okay.
Okay.
Donna, you're it.
Add that to a sticky.
It was.
No, yeah.
any other questions or discussion?
How many lanes is it going to be?
It'll be a 3-lane sectionally, so obviously with the path on the south side of the road.
So really significantly wider, plus shoulders, right, than it is right now?
Yes,
Okay. And will it take from both sides of the road or more? Because I know there's those giant power poles on the north side.
predominantly the widening is gonna be on the
South,
Orange
the
Township
orange
side of the
side.
road because of, the utility lines on the north side
Right.
kinda restrict what we can do, but we're gonna get right up next to those with the grading and the ditches and so forth, yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-106, approving a cooperative project agreement with the Board of Commissioners of Delaware County and Berlin Township for improvements on Shanahan Road.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Knapp.
Yes.
Trustee Faust.
Yes?
Trustee Ringel.
Yes. Thank you, Director Bowers. Chief, fire report?
Good afternoon, Board. I have 2 things on the agenda today. The first thing is to hire a full-time firefighter paramedic. January, we had an individual leave for another department up north, and we want to fill that position. We did a In March, we had a interview board, and we had 24 qualified applicants apply. So we would like to hire Andrew Campbell, who's coming from Wadsworth, Ohio. And on the second part of the agenda is, for us, is the agreement with FireCat. FireCat is who does our annual hose testing, and they went to a 3-year agreement now to help us better. They were being asked by customers basically to come up with a 3-year commitment. So each year, for 3 years now, we know what the annual cost would be based on per foot of hose we have. So those are the only 2 things I have today.
We're excited for our new firefighter.
Any other questions or discussion?
I have none.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-107, appointment to position of full-time firefighter paramedic Andrew Campbell.
Second?
Roll call, trustee Nap?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-108, enter into agreement with FireCat.
Second?
Roll call, trustee Nap?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Board.
Next on our agenda is our fiscal office report.
Good afternoon, Board. I have 3 items for your approval and review today. We have a liquor license renewal for Skybox Sports located on Cameron Avenue. I just asked for consensus whether you would like to have a hearing or not have a hearing. Our second item would be a revision to the permanent appropriations. This is with regards to the selection of our,
Design professional.
The design professional,
Yes.
excuse me, thank you.
That's okay.
For the payment for the design professional. When we initially prepared and presented the 2025 budget, we put those numbers in the general fund under bonds and interest payments for bonds. So that's not going to happen this year, so we need to move those monies out of those line items and into the capital funds. And then the same thing will need to happen with the fire fund. So since we split those payments, we'll need to do the same thing with the fire fund. So we'll need to move those out of the principal payment for a bond, interest payment for a bond, and move that money into a capital expenditure for the building of 362.
And does Skybox currently have a liquor license?
Yes.
Yeah, so is it a renewal then, or something?
Yeah, it says renewal on
It's
it.
a renewal, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because that's been there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
Yep.
Is it the same ownership?
Unfortunately, yes, Lisa, it looks like yes. Excuse me, yes, trustee Knapp. Yes.
It is, okay. Okay.
Any other questions or discussion on those items?
No?
All right, do we have a consensus not to hold a hearing?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Then
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-109, revising and/or increasing permanent appropriations established in Resolution 24-340.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Knapp?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes.
Also, real quick, just a little FYI, we will have our auditors with Julian and Groove. They will be on site beginning Monday for the Township's biannual 2023, 2024 audit. Yep, so hopefully we'll have them maybe 2, maybe 3 days. And that's all for fiscal. Thank you.
Thank you. Administration report?
Yes, thank you. I have 2 items today. The first item is in regards to our generalist intern. So earlier this year, the trustees did approve and post the position. We did go to a couple career fairs, one at Ohio State and one at Ohio Wesleyan, and we received a handful of applicants, like 10. Much more than that. Oh, 20, yes, 20. And then we had about 28 applications, and then we interviewed 4 had really great candidates, and today in front of you, we would like to select Samuel Woznica to the generalist intern position. He is an undergrad in political science at Ohio State. The next one, under my report is what I told Silas not to talk about, is the next step to our Station 362 replacement project. So in front of you is the approving and authorizing myself to enter into an agreement with a design professional. How many design RFQs did we receive? 6? Oh, I got that number right? Okay, great. Okay, so we received 6 design professional application or qualifications. The selection committee did review those, and at the end of it, they are selecting App Architecture, who we did the preliminary study with, and we would like to move forward with them with this agreement here.
Can you speak to who's on their team?
The selection committee, or
No, the app team, like who's their subs, all that kind of stuff. Their sub design.
you won't know that yet,
We
right?
don't know
Because of the
that.
CMAR.
We've only, through our interviews, they brought a very small team.
Okay.
So we were only able to meet, I think, 2 of them. Is that right, Chief? And we met.
So
just-
they didn't propose this is their structural, or this is their MEP, or that kind of stuff?
We have some, but I didn't bring it all out
Okay.
with me. I can certainly get you that information if you'd like to see it.
And so the amount that we're approving today includes the design and engineering. It does not include the geotechnical work. Is
Correct.
that-
Yeah, yeah. Near the, in the actual agreement itself, you'll see on page 4 of that agreement, there are 2 additional engineering services that are required for the project that are per 2024 building code required to be outside of the design contract. So those will be additional costs that you'll see at a later time. Probably not this year. Well, one of them will be this year, be a smaller amount. The bigger ones will be next year during construction.
Do you know which ones those are?
They are soil testing, concrete, structural steel testing, and special inspections. Some of those will be geotechnical, some of those will be more specific, specialized construction testing, engineering services. The other one is a third-party structural peer review services for the tornado shelter that's required per building code for the new station.
For the what shelter?
It's a tornado shelter
Oh,
that's
okay.
required in the new station.
So it's more like testing groups as the building is being constructed to make sure that it's properly constructed?
For the vast majority of them, there will be some preliminary work with geotechnical analysis for soil samplings
Right.
and site prep stuff. That'll be
Okay.
a much lower amount, but you'll see that this year.
Okay,
The
that's
other
okay.
ones that are exempt from the contract, that will be outside of this scope,
Right.
you'll see those probably in 2026 would be my expectation.
Okay.
And with those services outside, the maximum
Threshold,
bid
yeah.
that we originally published, the purchase order that we're approving is actually quite a bit under our maximum that we had originally anticipated.
Correct.
Yeah, I think the preliminary said 945. So, pleased with the amount. I mean, the geotechnical stuff would still be still be under that amount.
Because we had originally budgeted basically like $1 million for design? Okay.
And how long does the internship last?
The intern position is a 12-month period.
And how many hours a week?
I think we have a 15 to 20, 24.
24 at the most, or always, okay. And then he's aware of all that, right?
Yep, yeah, we are asking him to start April 30th.
So does any of that need to be in the resolution, or is that like that it's for 1 year and it's 24 hours and?
I believe it's reflected in the job description, yes.
Is it? Okay.
Mhm.
And I think that's the only question I have.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any special projects, Mike and Kremnitzer and I, we're trying to create a program for them on a quarterly basis. So if there's things that, research or anything to work on, all the departments will be involved as Sam will rotate around amongst all of us. But, let us know, so. I'm sure we can think of something. That's all I have, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion on the administration report?
I have none.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-110, appointment of Samuel Woznicka to position of generalist intern and establishment of compensation.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Nab?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes?
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-111, approving and authorizing the Township Administrator to accept an agreement with App Architecture for Fire Station 362 design and authorizing the issuance of purchase orders totaling in the amount of $823,435.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Nab?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes?
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. And do we have any other business before the board today?
I do not.
The only thing that we've chatted about, sorry, I'm gonna
That's okay.
surprise you. When Sydney and I met with Olentangy Orange High School, they
Yeah.
brought up everybody, is jealous of the new Olentangy School District State Champion sign that's in Liberty, and they're like, hey, can we have one? And so what we've basically said is, that would be great, we need to budget it for next year, but just so it's on
Yeah.
our radars,
too.
it would be, there's a request from the community to do something similar. What that one does, if you haven't seen the sign that's in Liberty, is it lists all the state champions since the inception of Olentangy School District, and it has them by sport and by school. So it's, when, like, say the Orange basketball team, they just won state champs the other week, right? So then you would add a new one that has orange, and then it's basketball, and it has the year. And if they were to win next year also, then you just take it out and put also 2026 on. So it would be something, and there's obviously, people are like, well, where should we put it? Do you
Yeah.
put it on
I think
23?
location's
Do you
the
put it on
hardest
South Old
part,
State?
yeah.
Right, yeah, so just things to think about.
Personally, I think we should one-up Liberty Township and consider a scrolling electronic.
Yes.
But we can't allow electronic signs, guys.
No, we can't, we're exempt from something.
Considering the rate of champions that we have
That's
coming out of the
true.
Olentangy School
Yeah.
District, I think by the time we install the sign, we might run out of space. But
We could have like a basketball emoji, like scrolling and bouncing, wrestling.
You're getting a little bit too
Wow.
crazy for my taste.
Well, and shout out to the Orange women's wrestling team.
Yeah,
Yes,
women's
they were
wrestling,
one as
and
well.
yeah, they
Yeah.
got first place, and along with,
We have invited them to the meeting, so hopefully we
The
can.
wrestling team and the basketball team?
yeah, we're waiting to hear.
Okay.
I guess the 3 PM isn't good for them.
Yeah, they're-
After-school stuff, I think. And so the one in Liberty, is that owned by, I saw it, but where's that at?
So right now, it's sitting on Liberty Townships by their building, but my understanding is it's going to move somewhere at the start of the county along Seminole Parkway. So it's in a temporary location right now. It's
But
not-
is it owned by
it's
Liberty
permanent.
Township?
The
Or the
sign
school? Or,
is owned by the township. The township purchased the sign.
and they have, like, every district?
They have all the high
Even
schools.
Orange, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if we could just split it up, take Orange and,
Olentangy.
Olentangy, and maybe
But then-
Berlin, or they only have one.
Right, yeah,
But still, people
Yeah.
going there, I mean, it could get kind of big after a while,
right.
it already has
It is pretty big.
10
yeah.
It's a big
champion
sign.
teams on it.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
more than that. Yeah.
yeah, because the people
Yeah.
that live over there, like, maybe they
Right.
can have their Liberty.
And so that would be something that we could orchestrate with the
Yeah,
surrounding
that might be
townships,
something
yeah.
that if they want us to take those on, because that way people driving through the community, unless
Right, we'll see.
Liberties might just fill up on its own.
Right.
Yeah, I like that, yeah, I like
But it's the
that
start of
idea.
a conversation.
Yeah, I
so.
like it. All right.
It'll be a great intern project.
It'll be great.
Have them do some research.
And my understanding, so when I was able to go to the grand opening, and the trustees over there, like, here, we can give you all the information. So I don't think we have to start this from scratch.
Yeah.
As far as, so
Yeah, nice.
they're willing to partner with us, so thank
And
you
it
to
might
them.
be a conversation that we'll need to reach out to the county engineer's office as well, because I believe they have some easement right-of-way probably on 23 down by Lozelle.
Okay.
He's not smiling.
Partnerships, lots of partnerships. Thank you to the team for all your work on the fire station. I know it's a lot of work, a lot of time, reviewing everything and interviewing and dotting all the i's and crossing all the t's. So thank you to everybody for that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other new business?
No.
All right, seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-112, meeting adjournment.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Nab?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes.